This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Following program is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you so know it, and so do I. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, on this lovely Monday, August the 11th of 2025, day 223rd of the year, and only 142 days left to go. As we are broadcasting here on the Safety FM studios, we can also be heard over there.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
Yeah, you know how it is. We're inside that multiverse where we're a little bit of everywhere. So how's your weekend? How did it go? Was it exciting? Was it everything you wanted it to be? Did it deliver more than expected? Those are always the questions I like to ask because, you know, it's important to understand exactly what is going on in the life. Yeah, I did say the life. So there you go. A lot of stuff. Anyways, here in Orlando, yes, Orlando, because, you know, that's where the show's based out of. This week in Orange County, school starts. So yeah, today's the day. Today is the day where everybody, you know, where the traffic patterns change. You were used to the summer traffic or non-traffic, depending on how you were taking a look at it. And now it is all chaos and anarchy. Okay, I mean that sarcastically as I say that. But no, always a joy when kids start going back to school. Seems like a fun time with things going on. So let's talk real quick. Our show consists of safety in the news and safety. That's kind of the way that it goes, and we do our thing around here. So don't worry. We will make sure that we give you the news stories. We give you the stories about what's going on with safety and all that kind of fun stuff. We bring in some professional broadcasters as they will talk about everything going on. And then I will give you a level of a main story as we get towards the middle of this thing and go from there. That's the show. If you want to interact with the show, simple. Callinradio.com. Callinradio.com. We'll get you moving and grooving. And once that occurs, well, simple process. It's a simple process. So there you go. A lot of stuff. A lot of things in the move and the groove. So with that being said, why don't we do this real quick? Why don't we start talking about what the hell was trending in the overnight?
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so as we talk about the trends of the ends of the ends, it goes something like this. Notable and noteworthy, some potential progress towards peace in Ukraine. Also, several celebs call out Dean Cain for wanting to join ICE. And Zach Bryan vows to never play in this stadium. Also, the Final Destination and Air Bud franchises both have films in the works already. We'll talk about this in Casting Calls, and Fly Like a Royal. We'll talk about that as well. So if you want to interact with the show, simple process, callinradio.com. We'll get everything moving and grooving for you. Video, audio, and text messaging are the options once you get there, just to give you the news, though. So our show consists of like safety in the news, but we also stream across multiple platforms, safetyfm.com, radiobig.fm. We're also on a podcast. We're also on several of the social medias that are out there. And then, of course, the big players, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, that kind of fun stuff. As we're doing all the stuff over there. Some stuff to do. So with that being said, why don't I bring in my friends from Feature Story News and let them tell you about what the hell is going on with the news, because, hey, that seems important.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in Brussels, I'm William Denslow. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's defended plans for a new military campaign in Gaza, despite domestic and international backlash. Blake Sifton reports from Tel Aviv.
Speaking on Sunday, Prime Minister Netanyahu said Israel has no choice but to launch an expanded military operation in Gaza. He also revealed that the Israeli Security Cabinet has approved plans for seizing Hamas strongholds not only in Gaza City, as announced on Friday, but also in central Gaza and al-Mawasi, where hundreds of thousands of Palestinians are sheltering amid the humanitarian crisis. The planned offensive was widely condemned at an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council on Sunday and by protesters across Israel on Saturday who fear the campaign could lead to the death of the hostages still held in Gaza. Blake Sifton, Tel Aviv.
The broadcaster Al Jazeera says 5 of its journalists have been killed in an Israeli strike near a hospital in Gaza. The IDF has confirmed it targeted correspondent Anas al-Sharif, accusing him of being the head of a terrorist cell in Hamas. The Qatari-owned news channel says it was an attempt to silence its coverage. Jody Ginsberg from the Committee to Protect Journalists has been speaking to Al Jazeera.
Journalists are civilians and should never be targeted in war, and they must cease and desist. We also need to see far greater action from the international community.
Fighting broke out between Congolese forces and the M23 rebels in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo on Sunday, forcing hundreds of residents to flee their homes. The clashes occurred barely a month after the two sides agreed to a permanent ceasefire and committed to resolve the conflict through peaceful means in the Qatari city of Doha. Chris Okamringa has more from Kinshasa.
The clashes occurred in the territories of Mulamba and Walungu in South Kivu province. Congolese forces and their allies from the Wazalendo militia fought the M23 rebels who have been in control of that area since February this year. Locals reported hearing the sounds of heavy gunfire. Many of them fled their homes. Aid agencies say the renewed fighting has worsened the humanitarian crisis in eastern DRC. The fighting comes almost a month after the DRC government and the M23 rebels signed a declaration of principles in Doha aimed at ending the conflict. The declaration calls for a permanent ceasefire that is supposed to lead to the signing of a comprehensive peace agreement by August 18th. Chris Ochamringa, Kinshasa.
European Union foreign ministers are convening Monday to discuss Europe's role ahead of Friday's meeting between US President Donald Trump and his Russian counterpart. Over the weekend, a handful of European leaders issued a joint statement welcoming Washington's peace efforts, but said that Europe's security interests must be protected. From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, more on that proposed face-to-face meeting between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. It's due to take place in Alaska on Friday, the first time the Kremlin leader has set foot on American soil in a decade. David Smith, Washington bureau chief for The Guardian, says critics of the process wonder if that's wise.
Certainly in some quarters, just the fact that he's got an audience with Donald Trump, I think their first meeting since 2019, and it's happening on US territory is being widely criticized. For example, John Bolton, who was national security advisor to Trump in his first term, he compared it to when the Taliban were invited to Camp David to discuss an end to the conflict in Afghanistan. Others see it as Trump really rewarding Putin despite everything that's happened in the Ukraine war and the tremendous invasion of territory and loss of life. I think coupled with that are fears Donald Trump will just make too many concessions. He does have a reputation for listening to the last person who spoke to him.
And pressure is mounting by European leaders on President Trump. They still believe in the maxim, nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine, and they want to ensure that he doesn't engage in a carve-up of the country and sell the government in Kiev down the river. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
FSN is an independent source of news for TV, radio and digital networks worldwide. You can find more of our minute-by-minute updates on Twitter. Follow us there at Feature Story. And we have a wealth of audio and video stories from our global news bureaus on Facebook. You can find us there by following Feature Story News. Stay tuned for further updates right here. But for now, that's the latest Feature Story News. William Denzelo reporting.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show. Self-implode on our airwaves. Only on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
Hey, are you tired of hanging around and talking about safety in a boring kind of format? Well, I got something for you. If you haven't hung out with us yet at safetyfm.com, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Yeah, if you come out to Safety FM, you can come hang out with all kinds of safety professionals. Some are safety professionals, some are just people that are talking about safety. But we want to do it in a format that makes it fun and entertaining. If you're kind of trying to figure out what the FM portion is, well, we're a radio station and also a podcast network. You can come out, hang out, and listen to my show, The Jay Allen Show. You can listen to Todd Conklin with the pre-accident investigation, Blaine J. Hoffman with the Safety Pro, the Hop Nerd, Sam Goodman, just to name a few on what could be found on the station. Different things for different people, trying to bring safety in an entertaining form. SafetyFM.com. Go to the website, download the app, and carry it with you all day long. SafetyFM.com. We'll be waiting for you.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete Signal Transmission Trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all three books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
There you go. 16 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Monday. You know, doing the thing. Doing the thing for sure as we are talking. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse as we are hanging out and talking and doing everything in between. Anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and start getting into our news stories because it's time to do so. So, peace talks. President Trump will meet with Vladimir Putin in Alaska on Friday to negotiate terms of peace in the Ukraine. While attending his bath between peace unfolds, Vice President J.D. Vance said in a Sunday interview with the United States is stepping out of the conflict. If the Europeans want to step up and actually buy the weapons from American producers, we're okay with that, but we're not going to fund it ourselves anymore. Putin has publicly said that he'll agree with the ceasefire if Ukraine cedes the territory to Russia has gained in the years-long conflict. Zelensky has already rejected redrawing maps, writing in a statement Ukrainians will not give their land to the occupiers. But wait, recent Gallup polls show that Ukrainians are ready for peace talks, with 69% saying that they'll favor to negotiate the end as soon as possible. So what do you think here? It's definitely an interesting one because this has been going on for a hot minute for sure as we are talking. So what would you do? You know, that's always the question. How do you look at it? Which way do you lean? Because a lot of people are, saying, hey, it needs to come to an end. And at what cost is it, willing to come to an end? Because if you give up the land now, how's that going to look? And, of course, what will happen later on with that kind of stuff? I'm not joking as I say it. I know. A lot of stuff to think about.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, more than 10 buildings collapsed in Turkey on Sunday following a 6.1 magnitude earthquake. Rescue efforts saved a small number of people who were trapped in the wreckage through far, fatality reports have been low. Shockwaves were felt for about 125 miles from the epicenter in Istanbul, where more than 16 million people live. Worth remembering, in 2023, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake killed more than 50,000 people in Turkey. This is according to ABC News. ABC News. So there you go. Some stuff to talk about for sure. Anyways, take a listen to this. A Cupertino area bakery says that DoorDash overcharged them to the tune of $100,000 over 8 years for incorrectly calculating their commission. La Pastry found success selling pastries and cakes through DoorDash, and even one of the first spots in the area to sign up for the vendor. The initial agreement offered a 13% per sale fee per sale to DoorDash. But for 6 years, DoorDash charged 30%. Fortunately, the owner, uncle turned an accountant, spotted the discrepancy 2 years ago. When confronted, DoorDash offered a $42,000 reimbursement, but never came through. Only after local media watchdogs pursued the story did DoorDash pony up within 2 days. This is according to MoneyWise. Wow, that's a difference. Yeah, we're going to charge 13%. I meant 30. Yeah, 13. I meant 30. And why does somebody else have to report it? Like, I was watching a news story yesterday, I think it was, talking about a pretty big manufacturer out of Austin, very well known, that supposedly is taking years to pay back their clients. Years. And I think it's kind of crazy. When you start thinking about it, it's like, why would it take years to pay someone off in regards of it? So I don't know. A lot of stuff to talk about. What else? A survey of American financial habits showed that tough times for Americans' youngest adults, but also across the board of extremes between financial uncertainty and peace of mind. Nearly 2/3 of Gen Zs responded. 62% say that they have no emergency savings at all. A majority of respondents across all age groups, 51%, said that they have to turn to credit cards to cover a $500 emergency. Only 1/3 of adults 55 and older have at least $2,000 saved in cash. But wait. Only 1/3 of total respondents have a 6-month cash cushion. This is according to study finds. So I don't know. I mean, listen, there's some baby steps that I've been listening to for years and years and years by a gentleman out of Franklin, Tennessee by the name of Dave Ramsey. Those seems to work well. Just saying. My Total Money Makeover. It's kind of the way that it's called. Okay, so there you go. Some stuff going on right there. Take a listen to this. Jailbird, members of an organized drug ring, were arrested in the UK after a video of a parrot squawking drug dealing slang was discovered on a cell phone that found inside of a jail cell on an alleged gangster leader. There were also videos of the bird playing alleged drug money, which is a all evidence investigation needed to get a warrant for the bird's owner, who happens to be incarcerated gang leader's girlfriend. The evidence gathered there led to the arrest of almost 15 people between the ages of 21 and 50 who had a whole role in the drug ring. This is according to the New York Post. Okay, if you're on the screen or either, astonishing moment where a pet parrot helps cops bringing huge drug gang in. There's a picture of the bird. And now I'm not giving you the bird. I'm showing you a picture of the bird that discovered all this. The video was used for evidence to convict a drug gang of a total of 103 years in evidence. This is all according to the New York Post. It's a kind of crazy story when you start thinking about it. So I don't know. Some stuff to think about for sure. Anyways, take a listen to this. Former law enforcement and intelligence chief William Webster has died. He's the only man to hold the job of both the FBI under Carter and Reagan and the CIA under Reagan and Bush Sr. In an official statement, a rep from Webster died at the care center in Virginia, but nothing was shared for the cause. He was 101 at the time of his passing. Take a listen to this one. Astronaut Jim Lovell has died. He and the two crew Gemini mission piloted its first manned mission to orbit the moon for Apollo 8 and then commanded Apollo 13. He was 97 at the time of passing. If it sounds familiar, Tom Hanks, who played Llewellyn in the Apollo 13, shared a heartfelt tribute to Instagram, writing, "There are people who dare, who dream, and who lead others into places we would not go on our own." Jim Lovell, who for a long time while has gone farther into space, longer than any other person on the planet, was that kind of guy. So there you go. Sorry to hear about the passing on both. No doubt about that. Okay, take a listen to this one because you're probably going to want to hear it. No doubt there. Take a listen. This is interesting. We're going to talk about the box office because some people care about that stuff. Weekend for the box office at number 10 was Sketch with $2.5 million. And number 9 was Together with $2.6 million. And number 8 was F1 the Movie with $2.8 million. And number 7, Jurassic World Rebirth at $4.7 million. And number 6 was Superman with $7.8 million. And number 5, The Naked Gun with $8.3 million. And number 4, The Bad Guys with $10.4 million. And number 3 was The Fantastic Four First Steps with $15.5 million. And number 2 was Freakier Friday with $29 million. And coming into the number 1 spot is Weapons, horror movie, $42.5 million. Just to let you know some stuff going on there. I have to complain about this for a moment because we're talking about movies. Hey, listen, if you like going to the movies, good for you. Not a problem there whatsoever. But on August the 25th, which is 2 weeks from today, some movie theater chains will be releasing Batman, the Tim Burton one. Yeah, Batman, the original, and then Batman Returns. They're going to play back to back. But listen to this. They've been updated, enhanced, for nowadays movie theaters because they're older movies, 1989 and 92, I think, respectively, but don't hold me on that second one. But here's the part that I'm going to complain about. They're only playing for a day. For a day. And let me be very cautious as I say day. On the 25th, one showing back to back. At least in the area that I'm in, 7 and 10. Now, listen, I know I'm old, and I'm okay with that. But I'm not staying up to watch a movie at 10 o'clock at night. There's no way I'm going to make it. And I would love to see Batman Returns in the movie theater one more time. But holy crap, I don't think that's going to work. So, I don't know. Thought it was interesting that it's a one-time evento. But hey, I guess that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Seriously.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, let's get into the swamp. President Trump will announce the measures to secure Washington, D.C. The True Social post, Trump said, "I'm going to make our capital safer and more beautiful than it ever was before. The homeless have to move out immediately. We will give you places to stay, but far from the Capitol. The criminals, you don't have to move out. We're going to put you in jail where you belong." The Washington Post reports that the FBI began sending estimated 120 federal law enforcement agents to the district over the weekend to help local cops clamp down on violent crimes. So we'll see what happens as he announces more. Okay, take a listen to this because it's going to be interesting. Let's talk about the numbers. The Dow increased by 206 points to close at 44,175 on Friday. The S&P increased by 49 points to close at 6,389. The Nasdaq increased by 207 points to close at 21,450. West Texas Intermediate closed at $63 a barrel on Friday, and Brent crude was at $66 a barrel. So there you go. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.13 on Sunday, and Bitcoin climbed up over the weekend, back up trading just around $118,000. Tuesday night's Mega Million drawing will be for a $182 million jackpot or an $82.1 million cash payout. So if you want to play the game, you have the opportunity to do so. Tonight's Powerball drawing will be for $501 million jackpot or a $229.5 million cash payout. So there you go. Some game opportunities for you if you're so interested in doing so. Okay, take a listen to this. Emma Thompson claims that President Donald Trump once asked her out on a date. The very day that she split from her husband, Kenneth. She shared the story in the Locarno Film Festival in Switzerland over the weekend, telling the audience that she was in her trailer on the set of Primary Colors when she answered her phone and heard, "Hello, this is Donald Trump. How can I help you?" she replied, before joking with the audience that maybe he needed directions from someone. To that, the future president said, "I'd love to come to stay at one of my beautiful places. Maybe we could have dinner," to which she politely replied that she'd get back to him about the offer, which she never did. The phone call occurred after Trump split with his second wife, Marla Maples. That's Tiffany's mom, just in case. This is all according to The Telegraph. So there you go. Some interesting stuff going on, as always. Take a listen to this one. Actor John Leguizamo thinks that Dean Cain is a loser for wanting to join ICE. What kind of loser volunteer to be an ICE officer? John said in the since expired Instagram video, "What a moron, Dean Cain. Your pronouns are has and been." So has been. Other celebs also called out Superman alum for the willingness to join the organization, including Kevin Hale and comedian Margaret Cho. This is all according to Entertainment Weekly. So there you go. Some stuff going on right there as we are talking. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I'm not going to lie here and say something otherwise. Volunteering for something like that. I mean, it's interesting. What do you think? What do you think about the whole thing? It's always controversy, no doubt about that. Okay, take a listen to this real quick. Country singer Zach Bryan says that he will never play a show in Kansas City after getting into it with Chiefs fans. As a longtime Eagles fan, Bryan took to X writing, "We're all the three..." Okay, hold on. Here is what he said. "Where are all the three-peat people from last year?" referencing the Chiefs' loss to the Eagles in the Super Bowl. The 3 Super Bowl wins in 5 seasons. Eagles have won 2 in their 70-year history. "Sit down, Eagles fans." From Oklahoma, one fan replied. Bryan responded by telling the fans that he will never play in Kansas City while taking a dig at Arrowhead Stadium, writing, "I'll be about to finish my show and then get a taunting call if I play the stadium." So there you go. I don't get it, but hey, whatever. I'm not going to play because I love the sports team so much. I don't get that stuff, but hey, I mean, everybody has to have their own thing. And if that's your thing, good for you. I don't understand it, but hey, that's what happens. It's, tribalness in regards to what has to happen, I guess. Anyways, with that being said, 32 minutes past the top of the hour, let's get into it because we need to do this. It's our main story.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
So let's talk about it because, it is 32 minutes past the top of the hour. It is Monday, August the 11th. So we need to talk about some things always that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse. And, some people like this stuff. Some people don't like this stuff. But it's always a time to have a discussion, or what I deem a serious discussion, in regards to what is happening inside of the world. And listen, I will mention this because some people thought that it was something referenced, something that was important to some, that I had people even reach out when the book was released. But Safety Mutation, some people thought it was a little bit harsh with some of the stuff that I chose to talk about. And it's okay because, I think there was some harshness that was supposed to be known inside of there. I was in an interesting place when I started writing that one. It's that whole masterclass thing, but we can get over that for right now. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about positions and work that are available, that are listed to you, that are told to you, and that are asked to you to possibly take, maybe apply for, maybe even do stuff that would be out of the normal realm just for you to apply for a position. You know what I'm talking about, because it's not that unfamiliar for us to see these things come about. But I want you to think about this for a moment, just for a brief moment. Have you applied for a job, a promotion, offered a promotion, or given a job where essentially they were asking you to change the person that you are for this promotion? Were they asking you to do something out of your quote unquote comfort zone for this promotion? And I'm talking about maybe changing your principles, or maybe even going as far as changing your values for this. From the standpoint where you're looking and going, are they buying me as a person for what I bring to the table, or are they trying to buy my silence? Think about this for a moment, because some people have a hard time with this, and it's something that needs to be discussed, because it's not the prettiest thing, but it is a subject of discussion to have for sure. Because how weird is that? That you go into a promotion, you might have been arguably one of the biggest disruptors inside of the organization, and I mean that in the best way possible. And all of a sudden you're asked to change because now you have a quote unquote corporate status. Isn't that different? Isn't that weird? Isn't that outside of the norm? I remember working at this one particular company many years ago. And I had a district manager that always would talk about that if he was on the verge of firing someone, he would give them a promotion or give them a raise. And the reason that he would do that, because it would make that unexpected to the person that they were on the verge of getting fired, or that they were on the verge of, on the way of being on the outs with the company. And that this would give them time to look for somebody else. And that this is the reason he did it that way. He didn't want people to all of a sudden quit unexpectedly and him not have a way to fill the position. Because normally back in those days, the district manager would fill the position until it was full. Or he would cover the position, better saying, until it was full. So I always thought that was kind of interesting. And I look at this sometimes and go, have there been people inside of your workplace that you look at this and you go, how weird it is that this particular person, and envision whoever you have in your mind right there, has been promoted to X. And this promotion, the person entirely changed from the person they were. And I don't mean that in a good or in a bad way. I just mean that they changed. Do you all of a sudden look at it that maybe the organization was trying to buy someone's silence? Or maybe they were trying to buy that they wouldn't be a disruptor anymore. Keep in mind about this, because I talk about this in Mutation, that sometimes what they're trying to buy is your silence, not anything else. So how would you handle your next promotion? How will you look at this? What is it your organization's looking for you? I'm not saying all organizations are bad. I'm not saying all organizations are good. I'm just saying, what is the reason of the promotion? Is it something that you earned? Because really nobody really deserves anything. Is it something that you earned? Or were they trying to buy your silence?
Oops. What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
In safety, in my opinion, you woke up. You saw the system, the simulation, the structure that trained you to mistake compliance for care. Safety mutation. Information misdirection picks up where the signal fractured. Because the system didn't shut you down, it rebranded you. It packaged your voice, sold your rebellion as a new initiative, and smiled while doing it. This isn't a manual. It's a decoded transmission about what happens when slogans replace stories, when safety becomes marketing, and when truth gets mirrored so perfectly, you forget it was ever yours. You'll see the mutation. Learning teams turned into theater, zero harm turned into optics, and feedback turned into formatting. But the signal didn't die. It was redirected. Safety Mutation is Book 2 of the Signal Transmission Trilogy. Available now in print, Kindle, and audiobook. Narrated by the author Jay Allen, PhD. Because the system adapted. Now it's your move.
If you're anything like me, you have certain tendencies to put things off, such as filing taxes, seeing the doctor, working on that home improvement project that you're supposed to be doing, but you just haven't gotten to it. And while most of the times it works out, the one thing in life that you really cannot afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into it later. Well, the answer is no. This isn't something that you can wait for. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digitals, no doctors, no needles, no paperwork. When you apply for $3 million in coverage or less, just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they've made Forbes Best Life Insurance in 2021's list. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithm works in real time, so you'll find out if you're instantly approved. No hidden fees, cancel anytime, get full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladder.com/safetyfm today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/safetyfm. Ladderlife.com/safetyfm.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Hey there, Jay Allen here with Safety FM, where we just don't talk about safety, we live it. And when it comes to safeguarding your future, there's no better partner than Acorns. This part of the show has been brought to you by Acorns, and a powerful tool that makes saving and investing easier than ever. We all know that investing can feel overwhelming, especially with busy lives and no time to dive into the nitty-gritty of financial markets, but Acorns changes the game. With Acorns, you don't need to be a financial expert or have a hefty sum of money to get started. In fact, Acorns lets you begin with just spare change. All about those small steps, small investments today that can build into something much bigger over time. Acorns recommends that the expert build portfolio designed to fit financial goals. Then it does the heavy lifting for you by automatically investing your money. It's like having a financial advisor in your pocket working around the clock to help your money grow. So why wait? Head over to acorns.com/safetyfm or download the Acorns app and take that first step towards securing your future today. Remember, in the world of safety and investing, small actions today can lead to mighty outcomes tomorrow. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides an incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC,
and SEC registered investment advisors. View important disclosures at acorn.com/safetyfm. At Safety FM, we're all about making smart decisions on the job and in life. So take control of your financial future. This is Jay Allen reminding you to stay safe, stay smart, and invest in your tomorrow.
More hits to help you work. Because to get rich, you gotta work hard.
Yeah, dude, I just made so much money that I could just sit around on my ass all day and play video games.
Wait, I forgot about Dogecoin.
Dogecoin rules!
Okay, here we go. 45 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on the Rated R Safety Show. Getting to do some of our thingo, no doubt about that. So here you go. This right here you're taking a listen to, this is The Wanderers. Song title, After Your Eyes. Yeah, a lot of good stuff going on right there. We would like to thank the Wanderers for allowing us to play this. You might want to give it a little streamer-emer action. Songs readily available on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and Pandora. So there you go. Okay, so there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse because it always feels that way, that's for sure, as we are hanging and banging. Anyways, let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help, and the people at To Write Love on Her Arms want you to know that people have been where you are now and that healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, there's information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, self-injury, suicide, trauma, grief support, just to name a few. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. Listen, it might change something for you entirely by just taking a look at what's going on, because now you have more information than what you had before in regards of this particular subject matter. So there you go. Anyways, that's TWLOHA.com. To Write Love on Her Arms under Find Help. So there you go. Let's continue talking about some other things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that's kind of what we do around here. Take a listen to this. In my mind, it was bad enough when people started wearing their pajamas in public, and now we have this, people wearing nightgowns. Well, pretty much anywhere except to bed. Not the silky, sultry kind, but the frumpy, frilled grandma might have worn to bed kind of thing. Brands like Reformation, Damson Matter, and if only if are selling vintage-inspired cotton nighties as bona fide day wear, complete with scalloped necklines and Danny embroidery. TikTok videos tagged nightgowns are up 200%, and the influencers are proudly strolling to farmers markets in these garments, once reserved for lounging in their chase. Fashion critics admit that walking their dogs in the century cotton old nightgowns. Yeah, that's what's going on there. It's part of nostalgia. part of rebellion, and of course, completely weird. Yeah, jammy jams, nightgowns in Publix. Yeah, I guess that's a thing. And that doesn't work for me. Okay, maybe at Walmart, but that's it. You know, if you really want to see some stuff, to pull up the people of Walmart. It's a website. It's kind of an interesting one for sure. And let's see, nothing like looking through just sleepwalked straight into a bunch of people. So that would be interesting to see, no doubt about that. Anyways, before I forget, let me tell you about this real quick. Conklin Conference coming up. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. You don't want the bird anymore. Yeah, let's get rid of the bird. Conklin Conference coming up September the 9th through the 11th, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Would love to see you there. If you're looking at the screen arena right now, there's a QR code. You can give it a little scan. We're going to be talking about the world of human and organizational performance, no doubt about that. Once you get there, kind of a fun time if you want to take a gander. Once that's there, if you don't want to scan it, you need the website safetyfm.com and click on live events. Todd Conklin, Martha Acosta, Bob Edwards, Jen T. Long, Andrea Baker, Mark Yeston will all be there, just to name a few. So there you go. Some stuff, some time. We can hang out and do some things talking about the world of human and organizational performance. Conklin Conference for Santa Fe, New Mexico, September the 9th through the 11th. Anyways, let's move on to some other things. Let's go ahead and talk to some John Smalls because, hey, he likes to talk about some positive stuff, and I like it. So here he is, John Smalls, Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's quote was submitted by Keith. Henry J. Kaiser said, "Live daringly, boldly, fearlessly. Taste the relish to be found in competition, in having put forth the best within you." I love this. I have lived my life in a similar way. Maybe not with relish, but I can taste the mustard. Okay, I've tried many things that have failed, but I've also tried many things that didn't fail. I think you find success when you keep trying. So many people give up on a project just before it could have become a huge success. There are even stories of people who struggle for years, then they sell the business, and the next people walk into a steady stream of success. Don't give up.
The Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org. The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com.
The Motivation Minute.
The Mortal Kombat Beatdown Rated R Safety Show. Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
We're rocking all day at work because we don't give a duck. Autocorrect probably just saved my ass there.
Like I give a flying, you know.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. Faced with the choice of pleasing God or others, we must be obedient to God. If Christ and his kingdom are not worthy of our absolute allegiance and our uncompromising obedience, how can we ever expect others to choose him? Commitment, not compromise, is what brings those we love to God. It doesn't work every time. I'll be the first to admit that. But if it doesn't work, nothing else will either. Jesus said in Matthew 10, well-meaning family members can be your worst enemies. Lord Jesus, deliver us from our obsession to please people rather than you. In your holy name I pray. Amen. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
A massive wildfire in southwestern France has claimed one life and scorched nearly 40,000 acres. Prime Minister François Bayrou called it an unprecedented catastrophe.
The blaze has forced thousands to evacuate as firefighters battle to contain it. Strong winds and dry conditions are fueling the fire's rapid spread. Authorities expect the situation to worsen before improving. Benjamin Wright reporting.
In Thailand, 23 individuals and companies face charges after a Bangkok office building collapsed during an earthquake. The disaster killed at least 92 people.
Prosecutors say faulty construction and ignored safety regulations caused the tragedy. The case has sparked public outrage over building standards. Trials are set to begin next month. Chris Anderson reporting.
The International Organization for Migration reports 56 deaths and 132 missing after a migrant boat capsized off Yemen's coast. Joseph Eckerson reports.
The vessel carried 200 people when it sank near Shukra. Rescue efforts continue, but rough seas are hindering operations. The tragedy highlights the dangers of migrant routes in the region. Authorities are investigating the cause of the capsizing.
This is the latest news headlines.
President Trump's new import tariffs took effect yesterday, targeting goods from over 60 countries and the European Union. Rates of 10% or higher now apply.
The White House says the tariffs aim to boost domestic industries. Critics warn of rising consumer prices and strained global trade. Affected countries are preparing retaliatory measures. Kevin Sanders reporting.
A U.S. Army sergeant is in custody after opening fire at Fort Stewart, Georgia, injuring 5 soldiers.
The incident occurred during a training exercise. Officials say the suspect acted alone and is under investigation. The injured soldiers are receiving treatment at a nearby hospital. The base remains on heightened alert. Kyle Norris reporting.
Jen Powell will become the first woman to umpire a Major League Baseball game. She is set to officiate a regular season match next week.
Powell's historic role follows years of umpiring in the minor leagues. Her debut marks a milestone for gender diversity in sports. MLB officials praised her skill and dedication. Jessica Oakley reporting.
The NFL has banned the use of smelling salts during games, citing safety concerns. The decision follows an FDA warning about health risks.
Players previously used the substance to boost alertness. The league is now enforcing strict penalties for violations. Medical experts are studying long-term effects of the practice. Liam White reporting.
United Airlines faced major disruptions due to a computer system outage affecting flight operations.
The issue impacted the calculation of aircraft weight and bounce. The airline grounded all departures briefly to resolve how passengers experienced delays at major U.S. hubs. The system is now back online. David Lang reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
If you ever wished that Facebook had a suck it button, you suck! This rock block is for you.
Yeah, there you go. 56 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out. Let's talk about some things that happened back on this day. Back in 2020, Democratic candidate for President Joe Biden announces that he has selected California Senator Kamala Harris as his running mate. Harris is the first woman of color selected by a majority party. So there you go. Let's talk about some birthdays that are going on today. Savannah Chrisley turns 28. Kaylee Ray turns 33. Chris Helmsworth, 42. Willie Freddie turns 49, Ann Gunn 57, Joe Rogan turns 58 today, Viola Davis turns 60, Steve Wozniak turns 65, and Ian McDermott turns 81. So there you go. What else do we have going on today? Let's see. Let's talk about some days of the year to celebrate. It's National Son and Daughter Day. So there you go. Something to celebrate. If you need a rando-ando for today, here you go. I bet when the first knife was invented, people thought that it was the greatest thing since torn off chunks of bread. You got that one. I can tell you got it. Okay, if you need a phone starter for today, try this. What funny or creative way do you sometimes answer questions like, how are you? Or what do you do for a living? So there you go. If you need a question for the water cooler, try this. If you're average, it takes you about 20 minutes to do this each day. What is it? Get ready for bed. Oh, you just don't jump in? Okay, got it. Wasn't sure. Okay, so that's going to sum up our time together. At the top of the hour, I will be going over to RadioBig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me for the next couple hours or so. If not, that's perfectly fine. You can hang out here with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. Anyways, that's it. So if I can leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. Think about that. It'll take you places you did not expect. Anyways, thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener, because without you, it makes no sense to do what we do around here. That is for sure. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and or Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios, as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.